The entire house lay in an almost tangible silence. Even the air seemed to hesitate, as if afraid to move. In the bedroom, darkness was complete, except for the pale yellow glow of the streetlight outside. Its light stretched shadows long and thin, making the walls appear alive, as if breathing. Raghav shifted in bed, a sudden unease pulling him from sleep. His heart thudded violently, anxious for reasons he could not understand. He glanced at the clock, 2:17 a.m. Then, thump, thump, thump. Heavy footsteps, deliberate, bare feet on cold tiles, moving closer, towards the bedroom door. Mira stirred, her whisper trembling in the darkness. "Are you hearing this?" Her fingers were cold, shaking, like fragile birds trapped in a storm, and she gripped Raghav's hand tightly. The footsteps moved from the drawing room into the corridor, ending just outside the bedroom door. Raghav's mind raced. A burglar? Impossible. All doors were locked. The sound stopped. Silence, thicker than the darkness itself. Mira whispered again, "Raghav, someone is out there." Raghav reached for his phone, slowly, thinking to turn on the torch, but fear rooted him in place. Seconds stretched, eternities in the shadowed room. Then, ksh, ksh, ksh. A scraping sound on the door, like fingernails dragging slowly, measured, deliberate. Mira shut her eyes, her lips trembling. "Please, call the police," she murmured. Raghav tried dialing, but the call wouldn't connect. Signal was there, yet nothing. Footsteps returned, but this time they moved in circles outside the bedroom, round and round, never coming closer, never leaving. Raghav thought, if this were human, it would break the door. If a thief, it would flee. What is this that only walks and stops? Mira remembered something. The neighbor lady, she said, "Someone walks in this house at night, but stops outside, never enters." Raghav's voice grew harsh, almost angry. "Why didn't you tell me before?" Tears glimmered in Mira's eyes. "I thought it was nonsense." The silence returned, but not for long. Knock, knock, 2 soft taps, just like that, on the bedroom door. Mira gasped. Raghav's hand covered her mouth, both forgetting to breathe, the house holding them in suspended terror. A voice came from outside. "Raghav." Mira froze. The voice sounded like her own. "Open the door," it whispered, perfectly in Mira's tone. Raghav whispered into her ear, "No matter what, do not open it." The voice changed, now sounding like Raghav. "Mira, it's me. Open the door." Mira cried out, "It's not you." A strange light spilled under the door, moving along the floor, like a shadow had separated from its owner. The footsteps moved backwards, slowly, gradually fading. Silence engulfed the house once more. The night dragged on. Every creak of the floor, every distant whisper, made the heart race faster. Raghav sat on the bed, holding Mira's hand, counting his own breaths, trying to steady himself, but each shadow felt alive, each sound a thread. Time seemed suspended. Even the clock ticking was amplified in the silence. They remembered the neighbors' stories, strange disappearances in the colony, voices in empty rooms, footsteps that followed, shadows that lingered, all whispered warnings in their minds. Hours passed, slowly, each minute an eternity. The wind outside rattled the old windows, floorboards creaked as if someone walked silently, the old chandelier swayed, casting long, moving shadows. Raghav recalled the day they moved in, the feeling of being watched, the uneasy neighbors, the old cracked walls. Mira squeezed his hand, her nails digging in, her whisper soft. "I feel it. It's here." The footsteps returned, soft, deliberate, circling, outside the bedroom. Raghav whispered, "It's testing us. It knows we're awake. It knows we're afraid." The tension stretched. The air felt heavier. Even their breathing was loud. Each inhale, each exhale. The night seemed endless. Every shadow danced on the walls. Every whisper in the wind, every flicker of the streetlight added to the terror, to the suspense, to the feeling that something unseen was watching. Time moved slowly, each minute stretched into hours, and yet they could not sleep, could not move, could not scream. The footsteps circled,
voice whispered. The light under the door moved, always, stopping, just outside their reach. Morning. Finally. Dawn. Soft golden sunlight filtering into the room. Rogov and Mira sat, wide-eyed, hearts racing, too exhausted to move. The wall outside the bedroom bore the message, I always stop here, as long as you are inside. Even with sunlight, the horror lingered, the tension remained, the memory of the footsteps, the voice, the moving light. They knew, tonight, at 2:17 a.m., it would return. And with that, the deep silence of the house became their constant companion. Their fear, their heartbeat, their racing pulse, all now part of the house itself, part of the ritual, part of the terror. Rogov and Mira would never be alone, never safe, for the footsteps always returned, as promised, outside the bedroom door, waiting, watching.